So this is Law of Contract Unit 1 Part 5, and here I'm going to be reading difference between void agreement and illegal agreement. We will look at the difference in terms in relation to meaning, one in another, reason, punishment, and void ab initio. So the difference between void agreement and illegal agreement in terms of their meaning. Now, void agreement is not enforceable by law. Illegal agreement is forbidden by any law. Difference between void agreement and illegal agreement in terms of one in another. Void agreement, all void agreement is not illegal. As far as illegal agreement, all illegal agreements are void. Now, difference between void agreement and illegal agreement in terms of reason. Void agreement, it comes under 10, 29 and 56. Illegal agreement against the provisions of law. Difference in relation to punishment. Void agreement not liable to be punished. Illegal agreement, party are criminally liable. Difference in relation to void ab initio. Void agreement, a valid collateral is not void. Illegal agreement, illegal collateral and it's illegal. Now the notes looks at special contracts. Point 1. Contingent contract. As per section 31, it is a contract to do or not to do something if some event collateral to such contract does or does not happen. For example, insurance contracts, also called conditional contract. Kinds of contingent contracts. 1. Contract contingent upon happening of an uncertain event, section 32. Second, contract contingent upon the non-happening of a certain event, section 33. Third, contract contingent upon the future conduct of a living person, section 34. Fourth, contract contingent upon the happening of an uncertain specified event within a fixed time, section 35. Fifth, contract contingent upon the non-happening of an uncertain specified event within a fixed time. Sixth, contract contingent upon impossible event, section 36. These are void. Special contracts continued. So first we looked at under special contracts contingent contract, now quasi-contract. It is not a contract at all because one or the other elements of contract are missing. It is an obligation imposed by the law upon a person for the benefit of another person, even in the absence of a contract. It is based upon the principle of equity, which means that no person shall be allowed to unjustly enrich himself at the expense of another. Such obligations are called quasi-contracts because the outcome of such obligations resemble those created by a contract. Kinds of quasi-contract. 1. Right to cover the price of necessaries supplied, section 68. 2. A person incompetent to contract or anyone dependent upon such incompetent person. Second, right to recover money paid for another person, section 69. Third, right to recover for non-gratuitous act, section 70. Fourth, responsibility of finder of goods, section 71. 5. Right to recover from a person to whom the money is paid or thing is delivered by mistake or coercion, section 72. Proposal or offer. The entire process of entering into contract begins with a proposal or an offer made by one party to another. The proposal must be accepted to enter into an agreement. The person making the offer / proposal is referred to as a promiser or the offerer, and the person who accepts an offer is referred to as a promisee or the acceptor. Definition of offer. Definition. According to the Indian Contract Act 1872, proposal is defined in section 2A as when one person will signify to another person his willingness to do or not do something, that is abstain, with a view to obtain the assent of such person to such an act or abstinence, he is said to make a proposal or an offer. Legal rules relating to offer. The offer must express his willingness. The offerer must express his willingness to do or abstain from doing an act. Only willingness is not adequate, or just an urge to do something or not to do anything will not be an offer. An offer can either be positive or negative. It can be a promise to do some act and can also be a promise to abstain from doing an act / service. Both are valid offers. Acceptance. The Indian Contract Act of 1872 defines acceptance in section 2B as when the person to whom the proposal has been made signifies his assent thereto, the offer is said to be accepted. Thus, the proposal, when accepted, becomes a promise. Essentials of valid acceptance. 1. Acceptance can only be given to whom the offer was made. 2. It has to be absolute and unqualified. 3. Acceptance must be communicated. 4. It must be in the prescribed mode. 5. Implied acceptance. Revocation of offer. In contract law, revocation can also refer to the termination of an offer. An offerer may revoke an offer before it has been accepted, but the revocation must be communicated to the offeree, although not necessarily by the offerer. However, an offer may not be revoked if it has been encapsulated in an option. Revocation. Revocation of offer. An offer can be revoked at any time before it comes to the knowledge of offeree / acceptor. 1. By notice of revocation. 2. By lapse of time. 3. By non-fulfillment of condition precedent. 4. By death or insanity. 5. By counter offer. 6. By the non-acceptance of offer ACC to the prescribed or usual mode. 7. By subsequent illegality. Revocation of acceptance. An acceptance may be revoked at any time before the communication of the acceptance is complete as against the acceptor, but no afterwards. I think it must mean but not afterwards. Revocation of acceptance too can be either oral or written. Acceptance has to be revoked mandatorily before the same reaches the offerer. And with this we come to the end of Unit 1, Law of Contract Unit 1. Thank you.